Alright guys, so a quick update video on these ultralight Cinewhoops that I made a couple videos on a while back, maybe about a month ago, and I've been busy with other projects, so I haven't come back to revisit these in a while, but wanted to give you an update on what's going on. So I still have the Crux 3 conversion here, and I have just modified it a little bit here. This is going to be my analog ultralight Cinewhoop because I've converted the custom build here to digital, and I'll show you that here in a second. Basically, the only really mod on the Crux 3 is I just got rid of the inner part of the prop guards here because the frame is a little bit shorter motor to motor, so the prop guards are kind of bumping into each other, and also to save a little bit of weight, I cut those little parts off. Obviously, we're just landing on the prop guards here and not the bottom of this board, but it's still a bit exposed. But the receiver and VTX antennas are, I guess, a little bit more exposed now, and that might be a good thing if you're flying close and want to get good video reception. You see it's actually not hitting the ground here, it's actually hitting the prop guards. I have switched to the 3-bladed Gemfan Hurricane 30, these are the 3016 props. And the reason is that it's a little bit quieter than the 2-bladed Gemfan props. It does shorten the flight time slightly, maybe 15 seconds on average, but you have a little bit more control in the flight as well. And the weight does overall go up a little bit on the going to a bigger prop, but the weight went down when cutting the little prop guard pieces off, so I think the net gain was actually a negative here. So let's show you how much this thing weighs. Now we're at 56 grams here with the GoPro tray, and basically it's everything except for the GoPro and battery. So that's how much it weighs now. And I have done a different tune on this as well. I was using the stock Crux 3 tune, and now it's more of a Cinewhoop tune on this one. If you guys are interested in what that is, let me know in the comments. Moving on to the custom build here. This was analog before in the original video, and I have since added a naked vista here in the back, and also added the Nebula Nano camera here in the front. I'm using the same GoPro tray with the camera mount for the Nano camera down here. From the Crux 3, so that's a modification there. Same parts here for the vibration dampening, and then I've also gone to the 3-bladed propeller as well, again for the same reasons. It's a little heavier, but it makes a little bit less noise, so the noise difference is like 60 dB versus 58 dB, something like that. Not a huge difference, but yeah, that's pretty much. And I also like the fact the way it flies better as well, a little more control, especially on the low end versus a biblade. I've also added a crossfire receiver, as you can see there, and I routed the antenna to the front of the ducts or the prop guards here, and just have them taped on to the front here. So I have plenty of range in this one, and I have a lot of latitude in terms of flying wherever I want with this one, and this is kind of why I decided to convert this one to DJI. And you can see that with the naked vista, all the heat sinks have been removed, and there is a ribbon cable that goes between the top board and the bottom board that prevents the boards from shorting each other out. Kind of hard to see there. I am running the power, or the wires, you can see there, only 4 of them because I'm not running the receiver, the S-bus. So it's just the power, ground, TX and RX, and it's running in between the 2 boards coming out there. So it just basically shortens the wires as much as possible and keeps the weight down, and comes out the other side and solders to the flight controller board there. Wires are as short as possible to keep the weight down as low as possible. I couldn't really come up with any creative 3D parts for mounting the Vista in the back here, so I just went with dental floss, and it works great. Yeah, no real complaints. It doesn't really move around at all. I'm not really racing this and doing freestyle, so I haven't had any issues with it even sliding around or coming off or even vibrating or anything like that. So this is how it works, basically through the 2 holes, and then on these arms of the prop guard here, on both sides. I'm using all 4. So if you want to have an idea how to mount it, that's how I'm doing it, and there's no problem with getting in the way of the propeller. It's plenty of clearance there. Now, one downside to going to DJI from analog is I had originally designed this or built this as a 2S setup with the 7500 kV 1303 motors, and on a 520 2S high volt, I was getting roughly 5 to sometimes up to 6 minutes of flight on the analog setup. But then when I went to digital, the weight went up. So let me go ahead and show you that weight first before I explain the rest of this, because the weight makes a difference, but I think also the power draw of the DJI system makes a bigger difference as well. So let's go ahead and put this on here. And I believe I originally had this at 65 grams. Yeah. And now we're at 78.2 grams. So the weight has significantly gone up, even though it is a naked Vista with the Nebula Nano. I also added the 3-bladed props, so a little bit more weight there. So I went from 65 to 78, so a net gain of about 13 grams, which is significant. So that on 2S, it cuts the flight time down from that 5.5 minutes or so down to more like 4 minutes on a 2S 520 high volt. And I kind of was disappointed about that, so I decided to go to 3S on this. And if you do that with the 7500 kV motors, you have to put in a motor output limit in Betaflight, which I just set to 70%, which kind of simulates a lower kV motor at roughly 5000 kV. So you could build this DJI system here with the 5000 kV motors and just go straight to 3S if you want to, and not have to put in a motor output limit, and everything should just run just fine. You're going to get roughly on 3S 520 high volt, you're going to get back up to about 5 to 5.5 minutes of flight time on this setup here. With the GoPro and everything, I think it was coming to about 150 grams total, all up weight. Anyway, so going to the 3S on the 7500 kV motor, you do have to put in motor output limit in, otherwise it's going to, you're just going to have too many oscillations, and it's not going to fly right on the PID. So I would recommend doing that. And the advantage of doing the higher kV motor is you have the option of doing either 3S or 2S. So I just basically put in the cell count in that motor output limit for 2S and 3S. So on 2S it's going to be 100%, and on 3S it's going to be 70%. So that basically gives you that, around that 5000 kV for a 3S battery on the 7500 kV motor, and that works great. I'm getting like 5.5 minutes of flight time with the naked GoPro, the battery, and the naked DJI Vista as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the update on this. I'm pretty much done with this guy. You can look at the original video, and basically all I did is I took off the analog VTX, and I took off the FreeSky receiver, and I added a Crossfire receiver, and I added the DJI system. Now, it turns out that this flight controller is no longer available, so you're going to have to sort of modify how you wire it based on what flight controller you do get. And, just make sure you have enough UARTs, one for the Crossfire and one for the Vista, so you can hook up the MSP so you can get the battery voltage and telemetry from the Vista. So as long as you have those 2 UARTs on that flight controller, you should be good to go and have Crossfire and DJI on this little tiny ultra light Cinewhoop. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one. I'll show you a little bit of flight footage here at the end. Let me know what you guys think of this. Any comments, suggestions, whatever, down in the comment section, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.
Hoping for a sincere performance, but open to finding the moment, to finding out where I'm headed now. Looking for a sign of disaster, so I can make it there faster. I'm weighing the consequences out. I can see in all directions. It's all how you can blend in with the crowd. I'm so scared, so damn afraid to look. I'm so sick of talking. I'm wearing the words out, words out. Out to get me, I see the river on the back.